Okay, guys, let's talk about the consistency rate. A lot of you said you still don't understand. Some people said they have read everything here and they still do not understand. I'm going to summarize everything for you. Okay, it said total lots traded not include pending order. This refers to the sum of. Okay, yeah. So first, I'm going to teach you guys how to calculate your average lot size. So now this is what the consistency rule is saying. The consistency rule is saying that now if you actually look at this with an open mind, you will discover that this is actually kind of right but wrong in some essence. So I will talk about the disadvantage as well. So now the consistency rule is saying that as a trader, if you trade for like 2-3 days or 1 week and all your trade were between, okay, all the trade you were trading were between 0. Let's say, look at my trade now, right? Now let's say I started trading from here. After my first withdrawal, I started trading from here. You see, I use 0.2, 0.5, most time 0.5, 0.5. Now, if you calculate the average of all this trade, you are going to arrive at maybe 0.4 or 0.5 at the end of the calculation. Now, if my average is 0.5, what they are saying is, let's say this is my 1 week trade now. Between here to here is my 1 week trade. And I arrive at an average of 0.5. The question is, how do you calculate the average? We'll talk about that. I mean, those are no maths, we know how to calculate average. Okay, now if my average of my 1 week trade is 0.5 after the calculation of all the total trade I took, it means that starting from next week I have to trade within that average such that, listen, such that my average is 0.5. Now I have to trade between these numbers, between 100% of 0.5 to minus 0.75% of 0.5. This is where people get it wrong. This is what it means. 100% of 0.5 means I will trade between maximum of 1 lot size. That's make I no trade past 1 lot, because 100% of 0.5 is 0.5 times 2. That's 100%. That's 1 lot size. So my maximum limit of lot size that I can use is 1 lot size. Then the minimum limit is minus 0.75. So yeah, you're now going to do your math with your calculator. Say what is 0.7 what is 75%? Sorry, I mistake. What is 75% of 0.5? So you say 0.5 times 75. All right, that's 3.75. Okay, because if you divide this by 100, right? Okay, so now that's if you divide it by 100, that's 0.37. So now you are now going to say 0.5 minus 0.37. That's 0.13. All right, so that means minus 75% of my average lot size is 0.13. That's the limit. Now I have now gotten my range. That's what we call range now. So the range is my lot size should not be more than 1 lot size, and my lot size should not go below 0.13. So that means throughout that month of trading, you have to be trading like 0.2, 0.3 lots, 0.4 lots, 0.5 lots, 0.6, 0.7 lots, 0.8 lot is okay, 0.9 is okay, 1.0 max. Because that was the range you traded within when you started trading. Maybe the first day, you can do the calculation from your first day to determine the rest of the month. Or you can do the calculation from after a week of trading, right? So now, the question now is this: how do you now calculate the average? That's the first question. How do you calculate the average? Now, if you look at my trade now, all right, you see that the day I started on the 3rd on this particular account, right, you discover that I started with 0.2 lot size. Then I started using 0.5, 0.5. To get the average lot size is by summing all the lot size that I have used so far and dividing it by the total number of trades. So let's sum. Let's start from the bottom since everything is 0.5. So 0.5 times 10 is going to give us 5 lot size. So let's count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 5 lots. Then this 6, 7 lots, 7.5. That's 7.7 lot size. Now, the total lot size I have used is 7.7 lot size. So now you count the total number of trade. How many trade there here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 7.7 divided by 16, yeah? Is that correct? Yeah, 7.7 divided by 16. That will give me 0.48. So 0.48 becomes my average lot size. So average is equal to your total lot size you have used divided by the total number of trade. So my average now is what? 0.48. So how do I now determine my trading range since my average is 0.48? Remember the previous calculation I did was an assumption. So the average of this trade is actually 0.48, not 0.5. So the average is 0.48. So what you do now is this. You say 0.48, let's just make it round, times 2, which is 100%. That means my maximum is what? My maximum is 0.96. So I can't trade above 0.96 henceforth on this account. The maximum I should be using now is 0.9. Let me just keep it at 0.9. All right? Then the minimum lot size, you will now say 0.48. You will minus 75% of 0.48 away from 0.48. So first of all, you have to know the 75% of 0.48. 75% of a number is you multiply that number by 75. Right? If you multiply the number by 75, it gave us 36. That means if you divide this 36 by 100, it's going to give you 0.36. So I'll minus 0. That means 0.36 is 75% of 0.48. So that's minus 0.36. All right? So that means if you minus 75% of 0.48 from 0.48, you are going to get 0.12. Right? Mathematicians will not have issue with this. Those one will be done D for maths for school. They will get issue with this calculation now. You see why we say school no be scam. So now, the number is 0.12. That gives you your minimum. Maximum is very easy. Just multiply your average by 2. Why minimum? Subtract 0.7, subtract 75% of the average away from the average. Or okay, let's do it this way. Your minimum is 25% of the average, because 75%, if you minus 75% of 100%, that means you have 25% left. So just take 25% of this number, you still arrive at the same answer, times 25. Can you see that? Times 25. Okay, let's put it this way. This one will be easy. Okay, so if we calculate and our average lot, let's repeat everything now since this is easy. If our average lot size is 0.48 as we calculated, it means that the maximum limit lot size we can use is times 2 of this lot size, times 2. All right, and the minimum, all right, the minimum is going to be gotten by using times 25. Then you divide the number by 100. Is that gotten now? I think that's easy. So to get the minimum lot size of your range, you have 0.48 times 25, divide the answer divided by 100. So that means 0.12. So it means that my range is now between 0.12 to 0.96. So all the trade where you trade throughout that month, may they fall within this lot size. It's very easy. They should fall within this lot size. Now, the reason why these people bring this thing is because some people now, sometimes, most of the reason why you blow your account is that you started your account trading with 1 lot size or trading with 0.1 lot size. But because you have made some losses and now you want to recover fast from those losses, you'll just jump all the way from 0.1. You'll start to use 2 lot size. That is not consistency. You are already gambling your account. So they are trying to conjure you. I mean, is it conjure? What's the word? Compel you to use, to probably use proper risk management. So why start an account with 0.1 lot size if you know in the future you are going to use 2 lot size? And that's the question. You get? So, but the major problem is not even what we are saying now. So I'm going to go into the major problem. So now some people will now say they want to bypass this method. They will now go and open a trade. They'll say, okay, since the talk said the average lot size, what they use now between 0.12 and 0.96, it means that Since the average lot size is between 0.12 and 0.96, those people will now come and do something like this. Oh, I wish I have a demo account now. They will now come here, all right? They will now place 0.5 3 times or 2 times, thinking that they have bypassed the system. Like I did it too, so I'm part of those some people. They will just come here and do. Let me just use it as an example. I think I don't mind if I make a loss on the account. All right. Let me use it as an example. They'll just do 0.5 like this. They'll sell again. Now, if you do this, there's an issue. When you do this, there is an issue. Because you think, say, okay, after all, now 0.5, the lot size still fall within my range. But there's something you fail to understand. What you fail to understand is that they are going to see these two trade as, in fact, like this now I don't violate. For doing what I just did to show you guys an example, I violate. This is my live account. This is a live account. Okay? So now, they are going to see this trade as as a single trade. So they will be seeing this trade as one lot size because 0.5 plus 0.5 is one lot size. Why? Because if you click on the information on the trade, can you see that? Both trades were open at the same minute and the same hours. They don't look at seconds. Trades were open around 12:38. So the robot that detects all these things is going to see the both trade as one. The robot is going to see both trades as one. Now the question is, how do we now bypass it? Let's say I want to use up to big lot size. So this is the trick I use. So if you want to place many trades to use like up to 2 lot size now, since your lot size is 0.48, if I want to use 2 lot size on this account, now this is what I do. I'll first of all, I'll place a sell 0.5, all right? And I'll wait for 1 minute. I'll go to 1 minute candle. I'll wait for this 1 minute candle to close, maybe 2 of this candle to close. By then, time go down day 10:42. So that by 10:42, I will come again and place another 0.5. Then there is a 2-minute gap between them. So the bot is not going to see them as the same trade. After 2-3 minutes again, I'll place another 0.5. After 2-3 minutes again, I'll place another 0.5. This is how you can stack. Now I'm giving you my trick. Don't cast it. So now, this is how you stack. So at the end of the day, you have used 2 lot size, but you will not be breached or filed for using 2 lot size. But if you go and place 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 straight up at the same minute, the bot is going to detect it as 2 lot size. Thus, even when the trade are separate, the bot is going to see it as, what's it called? Now let me show you. I think I have an example of that on my trade. Let's look at this trade if they have the same time. Can you see this trade now? Can you see all my trade? You see I did that same thing here. I saw this 0.5 at 20:01. I saw the other one 20:03. Look at this. This one 19:20. This one 19:41. I sell them different interval. This one 19. Okay, sorry. Let me look at the same trade. Can you see this? 22:09. This one 22:12. That's the date there. Can you get the time? Sorry. I sold it around 10:22 is 10 o'clock, right? Yeah. 10:09. The other one 10:12. There's a gap. So they are not going to see both of them as 2 lot size, as a single trade. Because if you open the trade at the same time, they are going to count it as a single trade. And it's going to be 1 lot size. 1 lot size is bigger than your average. I repeat, your average is very simple. Just determine, okay, this is my account. This is a 100K account, whatever. This account for currency pay, I want to use 2 lot size till they trade. So you can just start your first day. You say I will be trading between 1 lot, 2 lot, maximum 3 lots. Then you trade all throughout that day. When you trade throughout that day with 1 lot, 2 lot, randomly 3 lots, all these things. Or if you want to do your calculation based on a day, that's what I'm saying. Now after you trade finish for that day, sum all the lot size together, sum all the trade together. If not 10 trade you take, sum them together, it become 10 trade. All the lot size, one lot size, the one we use one lot size, say 1 plus 2 lot size plus 4 lot size plus 3 lot size plus 1 lot size plus 1 lot size plus 2. Everything, divide the total number of lot size to the total number of trade to get your average for that day. So at the end of the day, maybe you now arrive at, since you were using randomly 3 lots, 1 lot, 2 lots, 3 lots, 1, maybe at the end of the day, your lot size will now be average of your lot size is now going to be 2.4. So if your average is 2.4, it tells you that the maximum lot size you can use throughout that month, henceforth, is what? 2.4. So the maximum is going to be 4.8 because times 2 of it. Right? Then the minimum is going to be, by multiplying 2.4, all right, times 25. Then divide the number by 100. So the minimum is 0.6. So your lot size now has to fall between 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1 lot, 2 lots, all the way to 4.8. But if you now wish to use something bigger, like 10 lot size, it's very simple. Since you have your average at 2.4, you cannot be opening a trade of 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. I think 10 lots is going to be 2.5 in how many places again? That should be 2.5 in like 4 places, yeah? Yeah, 2.5 is 4 places. So you open 2.5, give it 5-minute gap. After 5 to 10 minutes, place another 2.5 again. By then, market can never take off. Now, if at all, market can never take off from your zone. That is just the trick. That is just basically the trick. So all of you complain, I don't want to buy next time because the consistency rule. Bullshit. Then, as for the other consistency rule of 50%, what they are saying is that the 50% consistency rule is saying that, look at all my trade now. In total, I made $1,600, right? Now, look at all my trade, right? What they are saying is that if total lot profit I made before I withdraw is 1.6, sorry, it's not 1.6, it's actually 1,250. You know, I already made $800 withdrawal, so everything I just make at 1.6 or whatever. Okay, so but then let's leave that. Let's say the total profit I made is 1.6. Okay, let's say the total profit I made is 1.6. All right. What they are saying is that there should not be a single trade on my history that made half of that profit. E.g., can you see this now? $800. This $800 trade is already a violation. This $800 is already a violation because I made 1.6. I made 1.6 and $873 is already more than 50% of 1.6. So what they are saying with that 50% rule is that there should not be a single trade on your history that made, there should not be a single trade on your history that made up to 50% of your total profit. But then, Sha, this thing is not correct though. Because I have not violated. Because if you check my total profit, it's actually more than 1.6. Can you see that? This is a 25K account. I've actually made 2,000 plus on this account. And this is because the account is already on the 4th month. So I can make more than that 5% cap or so. You understand? So that's basically it. I know I'm not able to talk about everything. Okay, another thing I want to tell you again. It means that one of the limitations now is that you know if they do all this partial trading. Let's say your average loss size is 0.48 now. And you are in a profit. You use 0.5 for that trade. And you don't a day profit. Now you want to close like 0.3 out of farm. Or 0.4 out of farm. May remain 0.1. You can't do that. You know if you partial. You can't partial. Because if you partial, the other trade will come be 0.1 lot size. The remaining trade will come be 0.1. When you close 0.4, it will remain 0.1. That 0.1 will remain. Will come there below your average lot size. So these are the limitations. Okay? So but the basic idea here is that nexstpfunded allows you to use a robot to pass. So why not come get the robot passing prop firm, follow the rules that are more constrained, make the 5% even in 2 times, withdraw them, as they pay you, use the money and spread it around FTMO and MFF. This is the trick we use. This is how we do it. Stop being complaining up and down. Do you think it's easy for somebody to give you access to his capital just because you pay $150? He's not giving you access to how many $1,000? $25,000, which is like $3,000 drawdown. Okay, you pay $150. Somebody's giving you a $3,000 drawdown limit. I mean, it's not easy. Let's be sincere with ourselves. It is not easy. Let's be sincere with ourselves. So, and they are allowing you to use robot. They know the robot you are using, you must pass 100%. I have the robot, it will pass 100%. So, if they know you are going to pass, they have to put rules such that the rules are going to make most of the people that have their live account lost their account. Because it be like say the live account become beyond challenge on its own. Because if they're not allowed like that, everybody can make profits. Where do you think prop firm pay money from? For those that are hearing it for the first time, prop firm pay you from the money people use in purchasing accounts. So if everybody they make and through prop firm, since the bot is already going to pass, if everybody they make profit like that, they call duamly where MFF they do and say make anyhow profit you want to make. You know say they're not going to pay. That is what First Class did that crashed them. They did not. So Next Step was watching First Class as they started with 8 cap. They saw all the errors they did and they built a system. They built a system that I mean, a system was developed from the mistakes First Class made.